Okay, so you've decided that you want to buy a new home construction, but you're not sure on what the process looks like. Yo, so what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to this week's episode. I want to break down the process step by step of what it looks like to buy a new home construction in today's market. But first and foremost, you know I have to start with the $4 million shot. So here we go. All right, today I'm passing it to myself. Oh, that's a bucket. Oh, stay down. Now, to start the video off, what we need to understand is, do we want to work with a real estate agent who's an outside entity, or do we want to work with the sales rep that works for the builder themselves? Now, this is absolutely a question you should be asking yourself, specifically because there are big reasons why you want to work with one or the other. One of the reasons why you might not want to work with a real estate agent is because sometimes, not all the time, sometimes the real estate agent's commission is built into the actual home price itself. This means that you are essentially paying for your real estate agent. And of course, that's not always the case. Oftentimes, the builder themselves will actually provide a percentage or a flat rate fee that they pay to the real estate agent when it comes to bringing clients to the home builder themselves. Now, if you work with a sales rep that works for the builder, that's absolutely fine as well, but you have to understand there are some cons that come with that. A brief analogy that I like to share with my clients in regards to whether they should use a real estate agent or a sales rep is simply this. The sales rep represents the builder themselves. So think of it this way. If you were suing, I don't know, Apple or somebody, right? Would you want a lawyer that is on retainer for Apple that is representing you while you're suing them? Or would you want to go to an outside source, an outside entity, if you will, who's a lawyer that represents clients who have sued Apple, who sued Apple multiple times already? All right, chances are you're going to decide on the outside entity, the third party lawyer. Now, in my eyes, this is the same situation because you never know what kind of hidden costs that the sales rep is not going to divulge to you. Whereas with the real estate agent, it is our job to make sure that we go through the entire contract line by line and ensuring that there's nothing that's going to pop out at the very end of the deal and it'll be something that you're not even expecting. Buying a house is already expensive enough. So the last thing we want is at the end of the deal, some random cost that we were not even tracking at all to hit us in the face. Now, a great reason why you would want to go with the sales rep is because they are going to know the homes inside and out. Now, a great thing about using the sales rep specifically is because they know anything and everything about, one, the builder, and two, the homes themselves. Now, as a real estate agent, it is our job to brush up our knowledge on whatever builder it is, what kind of home you're looking for, and things like that. And that's absolutely easy to do. Now, one great reason why you would want to use a sales rep instead of the real estate agent is because they are super familiar with the property itself, the home builder, the history of the home builder, and things like that. So they're going to be very, very knowledgeable and thorough about their side of the house. Of course, I'm a little bit biased. I say go with the real estate agent, but at the end of the day, I'm here to serve. So whatever the client decides to go with, I'm cool with it. Second thing on my list has to be, you have to decide on what kind of builder you want to go with. Do you want a builder who primarily builds a lot of farmhouse homes, or do you want to go with a builder whose primary options are modern boxes, modern white boxes on hills? These are questions you want to ask because you want to get a builder who specializes in a certain thing. That way you know you're getting the most bang for your buck. You're going with a builder who knows that product inside and out, and that's the product exactly that you want in the first place anyways. Coming up third on the list is you have to understand what your budget is, point blank period. The reason I say that is you have to understand what home you can afford and what customizations you can afford, which is a later thing to talk about. Now, when you see signs of builders and it says starting at 3.375 million, and you're thinking, holy crap, my budget is 3.5 million. That works perfectly for me. You have to understand that when you go inside the house, typically the model home is fully upgraded with all the bells and whistles. It's not the most bare bones product that the home builder is going to offer. And there's good reason for that. They want to entice you with all of the great things about the home versus showing you the bare bones model and that you might not like so much. Now, the great thing about new home construction is typically even the bare bones model is a product that a lot of people are very satisfied with. One, because it is brand new. Two, it typically comes with the most updated things in it anyways, because one, building codes and regulations that new home construction builders have to abide by, not to include that they are already typically going to put in some of the most updated appliances throughout the home, and they're gonna have the most trendy vanities inside the bathrooms, the most trendy backsplashes already inside the kitchen and countertops and things like that. So you're normally gonna get the most bang for your buck when you add the customizations, but even the bare bones model of a brand new home construction is gonna be great in itself. Not many complaints. Another thing to kind of keep in mind is you want to tour different builders. You might come into the mix thinking that you want modern farmhouse, but realize that across the street there's strictly farmhouses and you like those more and you don't want the modern aspect of the home, or vice versa. You might want a farmhouse in the beginning, but then you see the modern home and the modern layout, and that's something that entices you a lot more. So definitely tour different home builders to really kind of gauge what exactly you're looking for, what sparks the most emotional response from you when looking at different home builds. Okay, so the next thing on my list has to be, you should decide on whether you want to use your own outside lender or the primary lender that the home builders use. Now, I've made videos detailing pros and cons of this step in a previous video, so go back and watch that if you're curious on pros and cons of actually buying a new home construction. But basically, one of the things you really want to consider is this step, because there may be incentives with the builder's lender, or it might be a seller's market and their lending incentives are dwindled down to basically zero. You get nothing when you work with that lender themselves, versus in certain markets you can use an outside lender, and the outside lender coming in to represent you, they will have incentives for you, whether they're whether it's money towards closing costs or a lower interest rate to get you exactly what you're looking for. That's why when I talk to my clients about new home construction, some of them really want to just go with the actual builder's lender themselves, and that's fine, that's okay. But I always recommend talking with an outside lender as well, because at the end of the day, you want banks, lenders, mortgage brokers, you want them all to compete for your business. And the only way to ensure that you're gonna get the best deal every single time is to make lenders compete for your business. Moving on to my next point, kind of ties into a previous point, which is customization of the home. Now, customization of the home is one of the most fun parts, as long as you understand and stay below your budget. On a serious note, the customization part is mad fun, and I enjoy every bit of it, specifically because when you see your clients going from option A to option, B or C or D or E or F, they light up because this would look great with that, and that would look great with this. And you really get to see all of the options kind of come to fruition, especially if you've been in a model home and you've already seen all of the upgraded flooring, backsplashes, and things like that to help you understand what your home is going to look like potentially. Now, one of the things that clients inquire about is, does the home come with a pool? Some builders, they will build the pool with the home. It is an added cost, of course. But there are other builders where you have to actually find somebody who's going to go through the process of building the pool for you. That's something that you have to do on your own. Now, some people, they'd rather have it that way. Others would just say, scratch that. I just want the yard space. Next thing on my list is wait. That's it. That's the next thing on my list, is to wait. The reason I added this option in this video is quite simple. I actually had a client reach out to me this morning and asked me, hey, what is taking the process so long? You know, why is it taking so long? What are the next steps? What do we need to do? You know, are we missing anything? This and that. And I get it, right? For the most part, you're used to having contracts and documents go back and forth every day for 30 days. But that's not the case when it comes to new home construction builds, simply because if you're having your house built from the ground up, then that process can take anywhere from 6 months to over a year. The clients I'm referring to right now, in fact, their home has been being built for the past 3 months. They still have another 9 months to go. But because of all of the paperwork that was in the initial phase, the initial first month of the process, they're a little scared, honestly, that it's been so long and they haven't really heard much from the lender, the builder, or anything like that. Now I had to explain to them, hey, this is just a process. Your home is being built from the ground up. Now the process is going to be significantly different if you decide to actually buy one of the model homes that the new home builder has already provided for sale. And of course, that is always an option for a multitude of builders. It just depends on when they release the lots. It also depends on when they actually release the model homes for sale. And finishing up the video, basically one of the last steps is within the final, 60, 90, even 30 days, you're gonna start seeing a lot of chatter from the builder, the lender, and that's when we basically need to pay the most attention, because also within that time, you're gonna have your final walkthrough of the house and basically say, hey, this is what's wrong with it. I see this is an issue, this is an issue. And if you miss that walkthrough date, whatever's wrong with the house and is not brought up on that date, then you're out of that complaint. And for the most part, there typically are no major issues, major flaws with the new home construction because it is brand new. But who knows? There could be a crack in the wall somewhere that somebody, when they were leaving the house that very morning, boom, got mad, got upset because of X, Y, and Z. I have no idea. And now you have a crack in the wall, and if you didn't say anything, then nobody was gonna fix it. So there's that. But once you are basically at the finish line, everything else is seamless, it's very smooth. The lenders, especially if you're deciding to work with the lender that works with the builder, everything is basically taken care of at this point. You're just waiting for deposits to basically hit, funds to basically go through, and then you're done with the process. And the final step, of course, has to be move-in day. Now, move-in day is bittersweet, I understand. It's sweet because you've waited 12 months for your home to be constructed, only to realize you have to move. Now, we all understand the moving process is terrible. Finding a mover, getting everything loaded in the truck. Do I do it? Do the movers do it? And all of those things, I think moving is the worst. But that's the bitter part, along with the sweet. You have to take in order to give. You have to give in order to take. I messed the first part up, but I definitely made up for it. And with that being said, thank you so much for tuning into this week's video. Really, really appreciate it. I hope this answers a lot of questions. And with that, thank you so much for tuning into this week's video. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to let you know when a new video comes live onto my channel every single week. I have been a little MIA recently, but work has been crazy busy. That's not an excuse. I just have not prioritized my time, and that's my fault. But from now on, I will have a video coming out once a week, every week for the foreseeable future. And I will continue to give you updates on new construction. I'll even thinking about bringing on clients into my podcast and interviewing them and basically understanding what their process was like, whether it's them buying an investment property or the actual home buying process throughout that you go through whenever you're buying a new home construction. And to end the video off, of course, I have to ask, what part of this video intrigued you the most throughout the process? And also a follow-up question, what part of this video stresses you out the most throughout this video? Is it the wait time that you have to have? Because I know personally I'm not a very patient person, but some people are. Is the most exciting part the customization, or is it the choosing of what builder you want to go with? Please leave the comments below. I'm super excited to see what you guys want to say. And if you have any questions, feel free to also leave more comments down below and we'll address every single one. In the meantime, that's all I got for y'all today. Hope you have a wonderful day. All right?